take a look at this footage of a toddler who, according to his vlogging mom, accidentally falls off of his chair. But look closer and ask yourself, does it look like he accidentally fell? Or did she move his chair, causing him to fall? In this clip, where his parents put him behind an oven, you don't have to be an expert to sense that something is off.
I'm not changing my kid's diaper when they pee.
So I'm counting just 4 diapers right here on the coffee table.
And that's why thousands are tuning in to this momfluencers content. Not because it's wholesome, but because they believe something isn't right.
Not 1 video, but 2 of this poor baby just trying to get some french fries. Dad flicks his hand hard as a 2-year-old.
After all, this familiar scene has played out before.
Popular Utah family vlogger Ruby Franke was arrested Wednesday.
She committed horrible acts of child abuse.
And with stakes this high, the question now becomes, how much longer will people sit by and watch? For the momfluencer at the center of all this attention, controversy was nothing new. Hannah Hyatt is a TikToker with over 500,000 followers, originally known as Nurse Hannah. She gained her following posting about her day-to-day experience as a licensed practical nurse in Utah. But unlike most day-in-the-life content, that's often glamorous or unrealistic, Hannah was brutally honest about her job.
Is there a nursing job that gets more ghetto? It's long-term care. I'm working at a place today that's basically just, it's like a glorified homeless shelter, to put it in a polite way.
As an LPN, Hannah's patients were individuals seeking long-term care. This includes the elderly, particularly those who suffer from dementia and other chronic conditions, aka a vulnerable group of people who should be handled with care. However, that's not how Hannah treated her patients. Instead, she turned people nearing the end of their lines into punchlines for her story times that ranged from embarrassing moments.
My patient today accidentally dumped his full urinal of urine just all over me.
But they take the stupid cup and they're like, how are they gonna stay when your hand is like this?
Tell me why my patient is walking down the hallway with one of these things full of toilet water, drinking it. Literally walking down the hallway, toilet water.
To graphic.
I come to work and I wipe your freaking butt. This is how you treat me? This is how you treat people? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. My morning started at 6 a.m. when a patient vomited all over my shoes. Just all over my shoes. My next patient spit his meds all over me. Just spit them all over my face. There was blood everywhere. Everywhere. She was in the shower and it was spraying blood. It was spraying it all over me. It was all over the floor, all over the shower, everywhere.
While many dismissed these rants as rage bait, Nurse Hannah took her behavior to a new extreme when she messed with an elderly patient.
So today I accidentally convinced my 90-year-old patient that she had a baby. I was changing her brief and her bowel movement was the size of like a baby. I was like, holy cow, lady, you had a baby. And the rest of the day she's freaking out because someone told her that she had a baby and she can't find her baby.
But there was one community that wouldn't stand for this content, nurses. And they brought their concerns straight to the Utah Board of Nursing. Yes, according to Hannah, she was called at least twice. However, she claimed both times the board found nothing wrong with her conduct.
The first time I ever got a phone call from the Utah Board of Nursing, I think I crapped my pants. I was terrified. But I could talk to the guy and he was like, just so you know, like people are calling us. He's like, I watch tons of your videos. And he's just like, you're fine.
Still, with her place of work and her nursing agency also receiving phone calls, Hannah knew when to call it quits.
We gotta be done with nursing content because eventually these people are gonna be so I can't have a job anymore.
So, while Hannah currently works as a travel nurse, her TikTok has pivoted to parenting content featuring her young children, her toddler James, and her newborn daughter Jaden. But was the shift going to be the wholesome change viewers expected? Or was Hannah's content about to get even more twisted?
I think if I counted right, that's 17 diapers lying around my house. No wonder my house friggin' stinks right now.
In October 2024, Hannah uploaded the infamous 17 diapers video, where she filmed herself collecting used diapers left around her home from the coffee table to their bedroom floor. Viewers were disgusted, not only by the lack of hygiene, but by the worrying signs of neglect.
Girl, what? That's like you're gonna give your babies rashes and stuff.
Using your children and the way that you parent them and thinking there's gonna be no consequences to saying you don't change your kids' diapers? Have you lost it?
Out of control? Definitely. But you know what shouldn't be a mess? Keeping your relationship fresh. And that's where today's sponsor, Paired, comes in. Your ultimate relationship companion, packaged in an app. Paired isn't about finding love, it's about staying in love. Built on expert-backed advice, it helps couples strengthen their bond with fun daily games, quizzes, and guided conversations. Every day, you and your partner get thoughtful prompts designed to spark deep, meaningful conversations. No more, "How was your day?" dead ends. Here's one that I wouldn't have thought of on my own: creating meaningful rituals together. There are even big topics like intimacy, finances, and more, all in a playful, pressure-free way. It's perfect for every stage of a relationship, not just troubled times. With Paired, you can also save and celebrate memories in a shared timeline with your partner, which is just so cute and heartwarming to reminisce together. Ready to see how far your love can go? Download Paired today by clicking the link below and get a 7-day free trial and 25% off Paired Premium, because your love story deserves it. But not everything can be this easily solved. Hannah had a habit of making things worse. Yes, this was only the beginning of more sinister content to come. See, it wasn't long before viewers began to notice the rough way Hannah would treat her son James. Viewers also pointed out signs of distress from the toddler in certain uploads. For example, there was one video where Hannah gave James half a piece of bread and then ate a breakfast sandwich in front of him while he asked for more food. Viewers were stunned. He said thank you for the crumb, then begged to eat. He shouldn't even have to ask. My kids waste food every single day, but I still always make them a plate the size of mine. Then in another video, the family ate takeout food while James watched with tears in his eyes. And James isn't the only child viewers fear for. Hannah has also been caught handling her newborn daughter roughly, as seen in clips of Hannah tossing the baby or carrying her without supporting her head. Still, whether it's her nursing videos or her unconventional parenting takes, many dismiss Hannah's content as nothing more than a ploy for engagement. She makes controversial videos on purpose, always wants people to be talking about her. Everything she does and says is rage bait. She knows exactly what she's doing. I saw this yesterday for the first time. Wow, the things people go viral for is insane. This woman should not have a following, and she should also be looked into by Child Services, IMO. If it's some type of PPD, then okay, but still think it needs to be investigated. But if it's just rage bait, why are people so invested? Well, despite the overwhelming criticism, Hannah also found support from struggling mothers. See, after the 17 diapers video, Hannah responded to the hate with an uncharacteristically vulnerable video.
People were saying like, oh, it's just Hannah, she's rage bait, that's what she does. That's what she does best. Like, do you think I really just like planted those diapers around my house just to make a video about it? That was me being genuine, raw, like I was sick, having a rough day, and I had 1,000,000 diapers around my house.
And mothers rallied around her, commenting their own 17 diaper moments. My 17 diapers were feeling absolutely worthless. Not showering, not getting out of bed, not making an effort. I was emotionally challenged out. Never judge a postpartum mother, ever. My 17 diapers was 17 diapers because yes, throwing diapers away immediately was too much when I had 1% will to live. I have 34 diapers all over because I have twins, and no help to do anything. I have 17 bottles. I bought like 6 packs of bottles because I cannot stand cleaning bottles. Yes, mothers could identify with Hannah's honest portrayal of motherhood.
Gross, yeah. Grimy, yeah. Neglect? No.
And just like that, Hannah wasn't merely clickbait. She was relatable to many. Still, some don't believe the fact that Hannah had recently given birth and that her husband was away that week excused the mess. She had some on the coffee table, just sick. She sure had time to film and edit though. 17 dirty diapers on the floor is just wild. We have all been to the point where we toss a diaper on the floor that we will pick up later. Not 17. That is absolutely disgusting. She has to be doing that for content and attention. She tricked millions of people, and it's so obvious. You had time to put on 10 pounds of makeup, but not to take care of your literal children. However, this isn't the only time Hannah allegedly duped her followers. If you scroll through Hannah's videos, you'll notice one topic comes up again and again: money. From budgeting videos to money hacks, Hannah had made her income struggles no secret, particularly when it comes to meeting her kids' needs. But just how far would this mother go to save? Well, during her recent pregnancy, Hannah took one massive cost-cutting measure.
I'm 25 weeks pregnant, or so. Haven't been to the doctor one single time, so I don't really know. Also, I don't really plan on going to the doctor anytime soon. I just honestly don't feel like it's that necessary when you're pregnant.
Her opinion alarmed casual viewers. But what if you had gestational diabetes or placenta previa? But what will you lose from just getting checked out? Anything can go wrong. I went from low risk to high very quickly. And even fellow nurses expressed concern.
The implications of saying something so loud as a member of the nursing community. But feeling okay and not having very many symptoms and trusting your body to do things correctly does not thus make a healthy pregnancy or a healthy delivery.
But this doesn't seem to faze Hannah, as 2 weeks later, she confirmed that she still hadn't seen the doctor even after 27 weeks of pregnancy. According to the TikToker, insurance issues meant she wasn't able to see the doctor as much as she wanted to during her last 2 pregnancies, and that helped her realize something.
You can grow healthy babies without a whole lot of prenatal care, so I'm not really that worried.
But that's not the only instance of Hannah cutting costs when it comes to childcare. Even the basic necessities are treated as luxuries by the mother, whether it's warm clothing.
I'm sorry, but I can't spend $35 on a toddler jacket. I know he needs one.
Or even the same item that was once littered throughout her house 17 times.
I'm not changing my kid's diaper when they pee. I've never done that. Do you know how expensive diapers are? Literally, I will change his diaper if he poops, or if it's like a very full diaper.
And while these clips painted the image of a financially struggling mom taking tough sacrifices, that supposedly wasn't exactly the case. See, Hannah talked about making good money.
If you want to make $3,000 to $5,000 a week, why are you not a travel nurse?
And things got even more complicated when a former friend exposed the sudden truth about Hannah's real lifestyle.
17 diaper lady, Nurse Hannah was one of my best friends growing up. I see a lot of people like kind of defending her or like justifying certain things because of finances. I just want to put it out there that she comes from a very wealthy family. Her dad is a very successful doctor, huge house, brand new installed pool at the time, full-blown basketball court in their backyard.
On top of that, Hannah and her family are practicing Mormons who regularly pay tithes to their church, a willing donation of a percent of their income.
I pay 10% of all of my money to the Mormon church every single month. You guys always think it's crazy, right? Let me tell you why I think it's not crazy. I think 100% you will always be blessed for paying your tithing no matter what.
So, with a wealthy upbringing, multiple income streams, and money to spare for tithing, not everyone's buying Hannah's claim that she doesn't have enough to spend on her son's needs. She says it costs too much money, but makes $6,000 a week. Such a POS. At this point, you might be wondering, what about Hannah's husband? Where does he fit into this? Hannah often posts about her solo parenting days, where she takes care of both children by herself while her husband, Anthony Hyatt, is away.
We are solo parenting for the next 3 days while my husband's on jury duty, and I quite literally am exhausted and feel like absolute dog poo-poo today. So I'm solo parenting for the next few days because my husband decided to take a last minute trip with his friends, and I'm doing it by myself a lot of the time. My husband was gone out of town for a while, and lately he's been injured, sick, all that kind of stuff, so I've been doing it by myself.
And while the reasons vary from video to video, one thing is clear. Hannah is left alone. A lot. More concerning to some, however, are the comments she's made about how Anthony treats her. See, when Hannah describes her husband, he sounds like someone who is mean-spirited.
So my husband has a lot of pet peeves about me, specifically, I don't know I'm not aware of my surroundings ever.
Lazy.
The man of the house gets a little tiny cold, the whole world just stops. All of a sudden, the man has no responsibilities, no duties, nothing like that. They want you to make them juice and soup and bring them their tissues.
And even controlling.
My husband took away my credit card because he says I spend too much money.
While Hannah seems almost brainwashed into accepting his behavior.
This is why men are always right. This is why I should never trust myself to do anything by myself. Men are always right, superior, and this is why I need a man in my life.
Some viewers even pointed out that both Hannah and James seem happier when the father isn't around, suggesting he's the problem. There's even speculation that Hannah's husband is the one who's pressuring her to keep working as an LPN because it pays well. It's very apparent she's got no friends or family, only her husband that clearly doesn't care about anything but money. Hannah, however, has defended Anthony, calling her constant complaints in her video satire.
My husband is the sweetest, nicest, kindest, most loving,
most nurturing father in the entire world. It makes me really sad. I guess I've turned it into something like that. I don't know. In the video that you guys are all freaking out about, they're just playing.
But if that's satire, is the stress James seems to show on camera also supposed to be a joke? And if so, what's the punchline? Hannah's frequent uploads have given viewers insight into the Hyatt's household, and many don't like what they see. Laced throughout these videos, viewers have caught hints of some unsettling parenting techniques. This includes a moment where many believe Hannah deliberately pulled a chair out from under her son. And then, of course, there were the clips where Anthony appeared to be mistreating James as well, whether it was trapping him behind the oven or flicking his hand away when he reached for food. The most controversial example is the now deleted grocery store video, where James appears to flinch when Anthony approaches him. Yes, James seemingly braced for impact in front of his father only intensified the public's fears.
She is abusing her child. Did you see that poor baby's face? He looks scared of her.
Then, there are also the numerous videos of James seemingly being denied food and water by his parents, even while they eat in front of him.
Even James loved this. But I was upset because I didn't want to share it with him. And my husband didn't want to share it with him, but he needed something. Poor James only got like 1.5 slices of this.
This one's mom's water. I cleaned the house for 3 hours, so I could have this.
Because so long.
Adding fuel to the fire, Hannah has also shared some controversial parenting opinions, revealing that James was still unvaccinated at 18 months old, and that they physically punish him when necessary. Naturally, viewers were quick to draw a connection between her alleged mistreatment of her children and her treatment of her patients. Imagine being a nurse and having that many diapers around. Imagine how unsanitary her work area is in a hospital. How is she still an LPN? If she can abuse kids, who's to say she won't do the same to patients? But were internet users simply overreacting to a bit of lighthearted satire? Well, according to a trauma therapist, no, they weren't. Raven, known as Owlick Wellness on TikTok, made it clear that the intention behind Hannah and Anthony's behavior didn't matter when they put their children in distress.
Kids do not have the capacity to understand satire. And so even if the intention is to be playful and be joking, that might be the intention from an adult perspective, but the impact on a child is that they will experience that as neglect, as abuse.
So even if the parents are just poking fun at their kids on camera, as Hannah claims, the possibility of James experiencing trauma is no joke, with public outrage at its peak.
Yup, this young boy is in more severe danger than ever before, and there's literally just seconds left to save him.
Many began calling for Child Protective Services to intervene. She is straight up abusing her son. What the fuh? How does CPS need to be contacted so they can take action? I'll do it. I'm not afraid. However, some users pointed out that Utah is notorious for neglecting CPS reports. You will be disappointed to know that Utah doesn't give an F about kids, and the laws around child abuse are horrible, and that made viewers fear the system would fail James too.
I know the system is flawed. There may not be enough evidence to remove the child from the home. My biggest concern is that this essentially is a slap on the wrist for people like Nurse Hannah.
The CPS is not going to take those kids. No matter how many times you call or how angry you get over it, they're not going to remove those children. The parents don't drink, they don't do drugs, and everything that they're doing, although it might be unethical, is a right to them being able to parent the way they want.
But of course, Hannah isn't the only Utah-based momfluencer who has faced abuse allegations in the last year. In 2024, former YouTuber Ruby Franke and her business partner and accomplice, Jody Hildebrandt, were arrested and convicted of 4 counts of child abuse. Unfortunately, this only came after countless CPS reports, all of which were overlooked and considered closed for years. It wasn't until her 12-year-old son escaped Jody Hildebrandt's home and knocked on a neighbor's door for help that authorities finally stepped in.
Hi, I was just wondering if you could do 2 favors.
Well, what are they?
Taking me to the nearest police station. Well, actually, just one's fine.
By this point, the child was covered in wounds and severely malnourished.
This kid is always sleeping. I think you should.
And an investigation would only uncover further horrors this boy and the other Franke children were subjected to at the hands of Ruby and Jody. But it wasn't just the fact that both Hannah and Ruby were based in Utah that left viewers with a sinking feeling. See, like Hannah, Ruby skyrocketed to fame in 2015 because of her wholesome family content on her YouTube channel called 8 Passengers. Also like Hannah, her religious views often bled into her parenting content. Both Hannah and Ruby found their niche in making content involving a traditional, hands-on approach to motherhood. However, over time, viewers went from supporting their parenting styles, questioning them. For Ruby, that shift happened too late, and now viewers fear that the same will happen with Hannah. But how has Hannah responded to the comparisons between herself and Ruby Franke? Well, it's safe to say that the TikTok doesn't see the resemblance.
The fact that I'm even being compared right now to Ruby Franke is absolutely comical. It's hilarious, really. The fact that my children are happy, they're healthy, well-nourished, they're running around playing, that should be a pretty good indicator that everything's just fine. It's great.
Even so, these eerie similarities between Hannah and Ruby raised an unsettling question. Is the public right to be concerned? Are people seeing early warning signs, or are they jumping to conclusions? Unlike Ruby, Hannah has not been arrested. There is also no current evidence of severe neglect or abuse. Then again, the same could have been said for Ruby Franke in the past. So, if Ruby's arrest only came after years of suffering, what could potentially be happening to James behind closed doors? And if intervention does happen, will it already be too late? Only time will tell. For now, we can only keep our eyes open, listen carefully, and hope that if there's a cry for help, it isn't ignored. And if you suspect she's rage baiting and using her child for clicks, consider disengaging in her content so she doesn't make this her full-time job. While you're here, check out our video on Ruby Franke, the woman Hannah is being compared to, and considering subscribing to stay updated.
Before you go, don't forget to click the link below to download the Paired app today, so you can deepen your connection with your partner. Because every day deserves a little romance.